If you have been wearing and smelling and collecting and buying perfume for a long time, you probably have noticed that either your nose has changed or your tastes have changed, and more likely, both of them have changed. For me, I find that my tastes have changed as well, but I think my nose has changed also. And specifically, I bring that up in relation to smelling sweeter perfumes. And I've said before, I'll say it again, I'm not someone that enjoys wearing gourmand perfumes. I really don't want to smell like a cake or a candy or anything that is edible. But in the past, I have found that certain sweeter notes in perfumes either give me a headache or make my throat hurt sometimes. And I find that I'm so sensitive to them that I really can't wear them on myself. They just irritate me way too much. I can smell them on other people, and that doesn't bother me. And I guess because I'm not as close to them and I'm maybe just smelling them from arm's length away. But more recently, I've noticed that I'm not quite as sensitive to sweeter notes in perfumes, and I can stand sweeter notes, and I've kind of developed a tolerance for them, if you will. Because I have developed that tolerance, I guess just through smelling things repeatedly and exposure therapy in a way. Because of that, I have found that I'm starting to like things that are a little bit more gourmand. At least that's what I see in myself. Maybe it's also that I'm trying things that are not necessarily at the drugstore, and so the gourmands that I'm smelling are sometimes maybe a little bit better. There's also selection bias at play where I'm choosing things that are intriguing to me to smell. I'm not just smelling every new release that's in the department store or the drugstore. So I am very picky about what I'm smelling. But that being said, I do find myself gravitating towards scents that are sweeter, whereas in the past I didn't have very many sweet scents in my collection. So that does happen to people. I bring that up because the latest perfume that I got, and I've had this scent on my wish list since 2022, I think. So a couple years. And that perfume is the Purple Bar by Cherigan. This is a small artisanal perfume brand out of France. It says Paris 1929 on here because this is one of those revival brands where they decide to resurrect a brand from the past and either rework some of their older perfumes or create new scents based on the original older concept. So that is what this brand is doing. I reviewed all the perfumes in this brand, at least like their main sample set. Someone had sent it to me, and I thought that they were interesting, but I loved this perfume, the Purple Bar, and I added it to my wish list. I tried to buy it last year when I went to Aix-en-Provence, and I had emailed the brand, but things didn't end up working out, and I never did get a bottle. But I started 2025 with a bottle of this perfume because I've decided that this year I want to knock off some things that have been on my wish list for a long time and not live in this state of FOMO. I want to just experience the scent in the bottle and see if it lives up to the sample that I had, and this was the first perfume that I crossed off the list. So I won't say a lot about the Purple Bar because I feel like I haven't experienced it enough, but I did sample it extensively when I had the sample, and I liked it so much that I finished my sample of it. So I really did enjoy it. And the reason that I enjoy it so much is because there's something in it that makes it smell exactly like a piece of pink bubble gum that you would chew as a kid. So either like the Bubblicious gum or like the Hubba Bubba pink bubble gum, or those gums that came in a wrapper and they had like a comic inside them. They were called Double Bubble. Kind of reminds me of that kind of pink bubble gum. Now, the notes in this are cinnamon, vanilla, cloves, and Davina, I think I'm saying that right, which is kind of a fruity note. There's also benzoin and patchouli in the dry down, and there's lots of vanilla in the dry down, and it's quite a sweet vanilla. So I think there is something sugary in here, like ethyl maltol or something like that, but not an overdose of it. It's just a small amount to make this a gourmand perfume. You're supposed to get this feeling of consuming like a boozy cocktail in the 1920s. Like it's supposed to be like a fun 1920s kind of scent. But when I think of the 1920s, I think of like smoke, because I know people were smoking, and I think of things like the Great Gatsby. And this smells so rich. Like there's a candied fruit accord in here too, like a caramelized kind of fruit, like a gummy candy kind of note in here, that it smells too modern to belong to the 1920s. I really like that the combination of cloves and cinnamon and vanilla and benzoin, I think that is what's giving me this bubblegum note. And I know that I smelled the same sort of bubblegum-ish kind of character when I smelled Louis by Guerlain, which I have a bottle of. I have like one of those old square bottles. That also smells like pink bubblegum sometimes to me. And I think it's the combination of benzoin and cloves with something that's sweet in there that gives me that feeling. And I get that in the Purple Bar times 100. So I really enjoy that. That pink bubblegum scent is very, very nostalgic to me. I don't chew a lot of bubble gum anymore, but I do chew gum, and I always buy the pink flavored gum because I love that flavor, and I never get sick of it. But now I can wear it as a perfume. Now, all the perfumes in Cherigan's newer line, so perfumes that are in this type of bottle, are in an extrait de parfum concentration. And I couldn't see where it said on the brand's website or even on this bottle what that really means. Like, does that mean that this is not an 80% and there's actually more perfume oil than the standard eau de parfum? I have no idea. But my experience with the Purple Bar is that it is a very, very concentrated perfume. So I can wear a couple sprays of this and really smell it the whole entire day. It does open with kind of a candied orange note, and later you get a lot of cinnamon and a little bit of clove, and you get a lot of benzoin and vanilla and a touch of like an earthiness from patchouli in the dry down. I think you need the patchouli to kind of balance out all the sweeter notes that are in this scent. And at the same time, I wouldn't say that this is an overly patchouli type of perfume because that patchouli really is more in the background. Really, this is a vanilla benzoin extrait de parfum, and the brand has said that the reason they are offering the scent in extraits is because they want these perfumes to evoke the types of perfumes that you would have had in the 1920s, and this brand is from 1929, so they want to be true to that history of the brand. Whatever the reason is, I think it works for 2025 because people are continuing to look for scents that are very potent, and I think they want perfume to last a long time when the cost of living is increasing because they want their money to go a little bit further. And so if you have to use less perfume, you could potentially be saving some money as well. So I think it makes sense for the brand to do that. I know I've said that I don't really care for things that are way too strong, but I really do enjoy wearing this scent, and I don't think that it's too strong for me. So I was happy to finally get my hands on it, and I know that this is one that nobody has probably heard of, but this is definitely a scent that I'm going to enjoy wearing in 2025. If you have a chance to sample the brand, check it out. If you have come across it, let me know what you think. I know a couple years ago, there were a lot of influencers that had the sample set from this brand, and I got mine from a friend of mine which I was really thankful for because it's just fun to smell new scents and see what people are doing out there. This brand is still out there. They haven't shut down or anything like that. I know you can smell them at Javoy and other huge perfume retailers, just not anywhere near me. They're still small enough that they're not very well known in Canada. That's the Purple Bar from Cherigan. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.